Okay, I have to talk about the Bad Bunny Super Bowl because not only am I obsessed with it, like the rest of the world seems to be, I have found a parenting connection. I'm Amy McCampbell, and this is your Tiny Parenting Minute. Now, I'm not going to lie. I went into the Super Bowl halftime show as a skeptic. I was literally texting a friend saying, why do they keep calling it the Benito Bowl? I tried to listen to some of his biggest hits beforehand. Honestly, I didn't get it. I think I liked maybe two songs. I just wasn't connecting with the music. But I knew this was going to be a moment, and all the Trumpers told me not to watch, so of course I had to. Besides, I was really curious to see what he was going to do with this platform. And oh my God, I got it immediately. The moment he was walking through that sugar cane with the football, it all made sense. I didn't understand a word he said, but I got it. This was a celebration of a group of people, Latino, Caribbean, immigrant, American, asserting their existence in a culture that is literally trying to disappear them on the biggest stage in American television, with joy, with pride, with an absolute refusal to be invisible. And it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. You know those moments where a performance becomes a cultural statement that goes way beyond the music? For my generation, it was Michael Jackson doing the moonwalk at Motown 25. For younger people, it's probably Beyonce at Coachella. Bad Bunny's halftime show was that moment for this generation and for a community that needed it more than ever. And then I started really listening to the music. Honestly, I haven't stopped dancing since. So here's what this halftime show has to do with your kids. We talk a lot about raising curious kids, kids who want to understand how the world works. But curiosity isn't just about asking questions. It's about being willing to try something that isn't immediately comfortable, something that isn't made for you, something that challenges your default perspective. That was Bad Bunny for me. Not my scene, at least not then, but I was curious enough to watch anyway. What kills me is that there were people who were hard-nosed on Bad Bunny who wouldn't even try. It's not that they didn't like it, because that's totally fair. But some people made their decision that this isn't right for them before they heard a single note. That's limiting and so boring. That's a posture toward the world that says, my perspective is the only one that counts. And we are literally watching what happens when that posture runs a country. We cannot raise our kids to be like that. And listen, I'm not just talking about music or culture. I'm talking about building the muscle underneath. Because here's the thing. You trying Bad Bunny when you don't speak a lick of Spanish, that's the move. Not because your kid needs to listen to reggaeton, but because when they see you try something unfamiliar, when they watch you sit with not getting it and staying curious anyway, they learn that's what humans do. They'll be the kid who tries the new food, who handles the change in their routine without a meltdown, who can walk into an unfamiliar situation and find their footing. That's not a personality trait, that's a skill. And we build it by modeling it. Every time we let our kids opt out of something uncomfortable, every time we special order the plain pasta, every time we reroute around the hard thing, we're telling them they can't handle this. And then they start to believe it. Now, the antidote isn't forcing them to eat sushi. It's showing them what it looks like to try something new that maybe you'll like or maybe you won't like. To not get it immediately, but to stay curious anyway, to be uncomfortable and come out on the other side more interesting. You may not end up loving Bad Bunny like I now do. That's fine. But you will never be worse for having tried. And you will become a more expansive, more connected, more human person for having sat in that discomfort for a minute. That's the energy we want to model for our kids. This week, try something that isn't for you with your kids watching. Listen to a song in a different language, try a food from a different culture, a movie with subtitles. This weekend, I watched the Norwegian movie Sentimental Value, and I was suddenly in my Norwegian era alongside my Bad Bunny era. Whatever it is, do it together. Let them see you be uncomfortable and let them see you stay curious. Because in a world that is trying very hard to make us smaller, more certain, more isolated, curiosity is resistance. And Bad Bunny is a really great place to start.